Hello and welcome. You are listening to the Lama podcast. I'm Gunjan.
I'm Rajiv.
Rajiv, in one of the corporate events, recently I attended this corporate event and there was a question: what do you fear the most and what makes you angry? And I was like, good food for thought. Rajiv and I should discuss this. This question
Yes.
is for you, Rajiv. What do you fear the most and what makes you angry?
So this was, I assume, one of the ice-breaking questions that typically,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Yes. Yes. Where you get
yeah,
to know the people and who they are and what
yeah.
they're wrong. But yes.
So to be very frank, this is the third time I have heard this question.
Oh, so you are
So
well
I am
prepared
going
for
to,
this.
but my answer has not changed.
Okay.
So my answer is mediocrity for both the questions.
Wait a minute. Like mediocrity, like being average.
Yes.
Who are you and what have you done to a Rajiv modest Nanda? Like, how can someone's action make you angry? And why do you fear it?
Well, the exact response, or similar response, I would say, I got earlier. So you assume that I'm talking about other people.
And you're not?
No,
Okay.
I'm talking about what I call as trap of mediocrity. So I know that in my life I have fallen, like I'm still, I still follow, not follow, but I fall into that trap. So, and that makes me angry, and that is also what I fear. So the same answer to both the questions. And we can talk about it, why so. But what were the responses from other people
Oh,
in the group?
some really, really ridiculously lovely responses. One of them said, I fear having gray hair. I was like, hmm, how come? And then
The inevitable.
it
So
is
you feel the
inevitable unless
inevitable.
until you lose all your hair. It's
Yes.
inevitable. And then someone said that I fear the traffic most, like if I'm getting late for my meeting and if I'm hosting it, I have to present it, then that's the
Hmm.
thing that I fear the most, traffic. So I just want to be like, sometimes I don't feel like going home if next day I have a early morning call so that I don't have to take that grind of uh, coming in that heavy traffic. But yes, there were some
So,
really good
so they
responses.
are they answered the same for both the questions.
No, they had different responses, not same. You are the
So
only
what?
person
So what
who
were
has.
what were your responses?
Okay, what I fear the most. Actually, this question is the question which I fear the most, and I don't want to answer it, but just for our listeners, I will answer. Uh, so whenever I say this, कि ये काम तो मैं मर के भी नहीं करूंगी, universe gets together to make me do that thing. And I'm like, why? Why?
So that's why you fear
That's
this
that's what I
question.
fear the most. Like whenever anyone says anything, I'm like, zip. I don't want
Ah.
to say anything about this. No comments. But yes, that's the thing.
And what makes you angry?
Angry is a strong emotion, Rajiv. I get irritated, agitated, but anger is there's hardly anything that makes me angry. Hardly.
Ah, I don't believe it.
Uh,
In one of the episodes, if you remember, when I asked the question, or what was that we were talking about, that you were walking by the beach and you
and I wanted to,
wanted to kill
yes.
everybody.
Yes, eradicate
That's anger.
humanity is what I
That's
said.
like,
Yes, I remember that. But yes, human evolves. What I was that time,
okay,
maybe I'm not
like
that today.
just
So
like what 4 or 5 episodes ago, eh?
yes,
You
was it?
evolved in four or
No.
five episodes. I don't know. No.
Yeah, people can change overnight. What are you talking about? Four,
Yeah,
five
yeah.
episode was like long back. But yes, anger is a strong emotion.
Hmm.
I do get angry, but rarely. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I really cannot think of right now as well that what makes me angry. But yes, uh, I think I need to switch the mindset. And I remember one legendary athlete of ours, flying
Yeah.
Sikh cussing.
Milka Singh. Yeah,
I
Milka Singh,
remember
yes.
uh, I don't remember the sports minister name. I'm
No,
sorry.
so
Uma Devi.
yes, exactly.
Yes,
Yes.
she got the Arjun Awards and then she was giving it to everyone and then she announced for our honorable Flying Sikh Milkha Singh as well and he said कि मैं अपने जीते जी इस award को अपने साथ associate नहीं होने दूंगा. And that's the shift I think I should make so that it brings more positivity
Yes.
rather than saying कि नहीं
मर
करूंगी मर के भी नहीं करूंगी.
But
भगवान न
after
करे
you're
ऐसा
dead,
कुछ
anyway,
ना
you will
हो.
not do anything, right? So that's why, see, when you say "मर के भी नहीं करूंगी," the universe is saying, anyway, you're not going to do anything after you're dead. So you might as well do it before you were dead.
And yeah, it might make you a stronger and a better person with kind of situations you deal in. Day.
Yeah.
And
Good,
what were the responses of the meeting that you attended?
Very similar, but but people had like different responses. One was, well, it's been many, many years actually. I would be. What I know is that typically people responded with things that are, like you said, triggered by others. Traffic, you're stuck in traffic. No, you are. You are part of the traffic. So, big deal. If you're running late into a meeting, as of today, you can always dial into the meeting. You can start the meeting remotely and then walk into the meeting. So I remember that when I said that my answer to both the questions is the same, I got very, very similar response. That not same but similar. And then I started explaining that for me, what I fear is that we can fall in trap of mediocrity, and it is a downward spiral. And then that becomes a negative spiral because when you are not trying or when you're not trying your best, you are giving yourself a negative signal that I'm not worth it or I cannot do it, and then it becomes even more and more and more and more. So other people's action, yes, they make me, they frustrate me, but not make me angry or I don't fear any. Fear is like you said that yes, somebody's having a gun to my head. Obviously, I will fear that, but but other like reasonably, I don't fear anybody doing something to me.
There are two things here, Rajiv, that you talked about: falling in mediocrity and coming out of it. How do you realize that you are becoming mediocre?
Okay, so I think in another recent episode we talked about. I asked you, you are my so-called number one fan, right? And I asked you, okay, how many?
Ruskin Bond is my
Yes.
Banta Pyar.
Yes, exactly. So no, that's fine. But now the question is that how many books of mine have you gifted to anybody?
One.
You said like one. So, but you have praised my writing and style or whatever it is so many times. If I start writing on top of that, assuming that yes, I am the best writer or whatever, right? That is a trap of mediocrity because the actions, and I was pulling your leg, but none of my friends and family have purchased even a copy of my book or gifted to me. So, you're not alone. So, but everybody gives me very positive feedback. Oh, you write fantastic and this and that. So, that is where I have to rationalize that, yes, these people love me and they're giving me this feedback, but are their actions for, demonstrating that they really appreciate, they really like what I write? So that's where I have to rationally say, no, maybe I'm not there yet because I can guarantee you, a lot of the friends and family, even you would have gifted other books, if not this one or my books and anything, or something else, right? So the gift has been given, but it was not one of my writing, in spite of everybody saying that, hey, they found my writing very good. So that's a trap of mediocrity. And it is not just in like work, but even in there was one very interesting incident that happened a few years ago. I'm very fond of leather jackets.
Okay.
So, although I don't have a collection, I have just one. But there was one jacket I really, really liked, very sleek and looked very good on me. And it was very expensive. I think that was at that time around 1200 US dollars or something, 12 to 1300 US dollars. So, and then coincidentally, I got some award. I was still, with Intel at that time. So I got some award. So my wife said, hey, why not go get that jacket that you really liked? So we went to the store and I got the jacket. I came home and I really loved it. But after a couple of days, I went back and returned it. After that, I realized, actually I introspected that, I could afford that. It was not something that, I was like busting my budget or something, or I was robbing a bank. Something that if I can afford something and I like something and still I do not buy, I refuse myself that pleasure or happiness of, purchasing something that I can afford, and this thing is a trap of mediocrity for me.
That's more of a scarcity mindset. Like,
No, no, no,
the way we
no.
grow.
You can say it is frugal and all that. I'm talking about my definition. I'm not talking about how everybody else. A lot of people think, that's a waste of money and all that. Yeah, that's fine. I'm talking about my mindset, right? Where I think that for me, that is a trap of mediocrity. If I have to do something at home or, even relationships, everywhere, if you do not give it your best that you can afford, whether it is action, whether it is time, whether it is whatever. For me, that is a trap of mediocrity. You fall into mediocrity, what happens? You give your negative feedback. The feedback is to yourself that you're giving a negative feedback that I'm not worth it. Or no, no, no. So you're justifying, just like you said, no, I'm being frugal, or this is waste of money. But why? Why my happiness would be waste of money for me? If I can afford it. I'm not saying that, I'm going to go and buy a Ferrari or something, but so things like that. So these are small little things. So that's what I fear, and that's also what makes me angry, because when I recognize it, then I say, this is not the first time that has happened. I have fallen into this, the spiral so many times, and yet I still fall.
And how do you come out of it? Is it like pause and reflect? Is it
Yeah. Same. You introspect, you think, you analyze your action. So for me, the trigger was that I had won the award. I got some money. It was not that I was going to bust my, bank or anything. And even earlier, I was thinking that, hey, if it comes on sale, I will buy it and all that. And in spite of that, when I got the award, I could easily afford it. It was extra money. I didn't expect that money. And it was, I could buy that easily now. Even earlier, I was able to buy it, but now I could buy it without even, doing anything else. So that's where I was introspecting that why did I do that? Why did I go back after a couple of days and return it in spite of the fact that I really loved it? And at that time I had a motorcycle, and I would like think of myself as very cool dude with that leather jacket on the motorcycle. And that's why, it was, I recognize that, I'm falling into that. Then, you have to start doing some corrective action on yourself, and then come out of it. But I'm sure, I'll fall in, not the first and the last time. But it will still make me angry. It will still, I will still fear that, hey, I'm a fall. The main thing is that, now that I'm conscious, I make more effort about, hey, can I afford it? Is it making me happy? Is it not causing, some other problems? Okay, then why should I not do it?
Rajiv,
So I gave you my
you made a very interesting point about mediocrity in relationship.
yeah. But before we go there, I want to ask you, right? So you mentioned
Maybe
about
gone.
fear, but what about mediocrity? What's
Okay.
your opinion on that?
Um, yes, I also fall in a trap of mediocrity. And those are very personal sides. Like I recently started writing. If I write something, I'll close it. After a week, I'll revisit because weekend is the only time I get to do that stuff. If I still like it, then I feel, okay, I have written something good. If I don't
Hmm.
like it, then it stays there in that notebook of mine. But yes, I do a lot of introspection, as you said, that you just go back to
Good.
the book and
Exactly. Yeah.
yes.
So,
Yes, I want to talk about relationships. Like you talked about mediocrity in relationships. Is it just taking things for granted? Like, yeah, mama is there, she'll do it. Why do I need to do this? And there are a lot of things, not just, mom and kid, not just husband, wife, any relation, even friendship and all. They need good investment. And by investment, I mean they need time, they need
so
that effort.
yeah. See, it is that is no. That's I would not say that has nothing to do with mediocre versus excellent or great relationship, because you may be out of touch with a friend for 10, 20 years, but when you get together you come back like this, right? Or somebody, right? Anybody. So the way I measure mediocrity in relationships is that what is the depth of questions you ask each other? What is the depth of confrontation you have with each other? Whether, even if it is parent and child. I'm not talking about minors, right? I'm talking about adults. So, you know, let's say typically I have seen, that, when a child calls up their, parent, they're like, the only thing they're talking about is, is everything fine, there's that. But there are so many unasked questions. That is what I call mediocrity of relationships. In friendships, and that is how I also measure that, should I get rid of this friendship? Is it friendship anymore? It is just, we're just talking about nonsense, right? So I'm not, let's say if tomorrow I come to you and say, Kunjan, this is stupid. I had better expectation of you. Versus, oh yeah, this is good, fantastic. Yeah, this, when that would be my response, that means this, partnership is like becoming mediocre. Versus if we do not challenge each other, we do not be happy for, being happy for each other is a very, very, tricky situation, right? You have to be genuinely happy. It should appear in your voice, face, your entire body, and your tone of voice. Everything should give the other person that signal that, hey, this person is really happy for me, or sad for me, or whatever.
And presence also matters, Rajiv. And reason I say this, like there's this thing about Bangalore. In Bangalore, we don't say I love you. We just go to airport to receive you. And when I reached Bangalore, 2018, my sister was there at the airport. That was overwhelming. And yes, I mean that's how and yes, she was in Bangalore, I was in the US, and because of time zones, work commitment, everything, we could not talk that much. But when I said that, yeah, we are relocating to Bangalore, she was there at the airport, which was like joyful.
See, exactly. So the actions will tell you much more than the.
Yes.
I, I, I would rather not hear the words "I love you" unless they are meaningful.
Don't trust the words, trust the actions. So she was happy.
Yeah.
She was really working hard that my son gets admission here in Bangalore. And when she was there at the airport, I was like, okay, this is, and I did not know. By that time, I did not know that, okay, Bangalore airport is some. But now when I pause
Yeah.
and reflect, I was like, sister, I really
Yeah. There
love
was an
you.
effort made. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there was a blog that I wrote about it. Say-do ratio. Right. So that's one of the things that you measure. At least I measure. Uh, when you say something versus what you do, like what you're saying, don't focus on words versus action. So say do ratio for me, for like, I discovered it like many, many decades ago. And I would say, okay, you said this, but have you followed up with action? Or is your action demonstrating what you're saying? Then I would say, okay, that's fine, Or I would really be appreciative of the person.
As my mom used to say, करनी और कथनी में बहुत फर्क होता है. It's easy to say,
Yes.
but it's difficult to
Very old
implement
saying.
it.
Yes.
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 So,
Yes. Yeah.
Rajiv, why do we give so much of importance to emotions, like gussa nahi karna hai, and just be happy where you are. Why we give so much of importance to the emotions, like stay contented where you are, where if you are contented where you are, you might fall, because uh, being mediocre and staying in your comfort zone can be
Mm.
two different things, can be same thing, but like, why do we give so much of importance to the emotions?
No, we should give importance with more emotions. The only thing is that what do we interpret our emotions to be? Or, I don't know whether I'm using the right word, but let me explain, right? So there are two things. What you call as satisfaction or content or whatever. For me, content and satisfaction are two different things. So I am content with what I am or who I am, where I am, and all that, but I'm not satisfied. That is why I keep focusing on improving myself even today, and I'm sure I'll do it till I die, or I give up or whatever, right? So, but the thing is that for me, being content means that okay, I have achieved a lot in my life. I am where I am, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be healthy and this and that, all that. But no, I'm not satisfied because I have a lot of things that I would like to do, right? And I want to improve myself even in my writing. I want to write so good that my fan number one would buy 200,000 copies and give it to all her friends and family, neighbors, and all of Bangalore, right? So the thing is that, for me, I want to continue improving on my, all aspects of life. But there are so many aspects that I, really don't care. I would say, okay, that I'm content, I'm satisfied. I don't want to do anything beyond that. So for me, if you fall in the trap of satisfied, that I'm satisfied, this is the best I can do, and I don't care. Or they say, that in India we say, chalta hai, right? That attitude. That is a very clear sign of being mediocre.
That's one thing I do not like, being jugadu. I've been there. I have
Jugaado is different.
not.
See, Jugaado is innovation. Jugaado is innovation. But chalta hai. Chalta hai means that, for example, let's say you're cleaning the house, right? And you're cleaning it, and then you see a spot you left. You say, okay, who will notice it? You noticed it. So for me, I would want to go back and clean it up so that because I notice, I don't care anybody else noticing it or not. So that's what I'm saying mediocrity. If let's say I write, I keep writing, you keep praising and everybody praises me and I'm just churning out shit. So that would be a trap of mediocrity that, because tomorrow if I want to actually really share and be happy about it, like the criticism will overwhelm me because I have never had the opportunity to get the negative feedback to improve myself.
So the key is to stay away from external validations.
No, not stay away, but understand what there's a value of external validation, but take it based on what the value it has. It should not hurt your pride, not ego. Ego will be hurt, but it should not hurt your pride. And it should not demotivate you for not achieving your best.
Rajiv, as you were talking about this chalta hai attitude, and this reminded me of story back my Calcutta days. I used to volunteer for
Story or incident?
yes, incident. Uh, I used to work for a home in Calcutta, home for abandoned kids, and this kid, he had severe thalassemia. And how greed supersedes everything, your ethics, your values. You are in the most noble profession. These people, they reuse the disposable needles
Oh,
without sterilizing them properly. And
the place for abandoned kids. No, okay.
so I used to work there. There was this home for abandoned kids, Navjeet.
Got it. Okay.
And there was this kid, he had severe thalassemia, which means that he used to go for blood transfusion for every 15 days.
Yeah.
And like there was a very big racket where needles were getting reused. not getting properly sterilized and just getting reused, and disposable needles. This kid
चलता
got
है attitude, yeah.
चलता है एटीट्यूड कि हम तो इंडियंस हैं, हमें क्या ही होना है, ठीक है यूज कर लो, इट्स फाइन. This kid was tested with HIV positive.
Oh
And the
shit.
day I came to know, I just could not go there. Today, when I pause and I reflect, I'm like, why? I
Why
could
did you
not,
not?
why I did not. And emotionally, I was not very strong. Even today, I don't think so. I'm that strong to face such things. But I could have fought for that kid. I could have dug deeper, maybe, taken culprits to the court. I really don't know. But I somehow feel that I failed.
See
Best intention.
that
I was voluntary.
yes.
Best intention to go there, just spend some time with kids. Kids love when they see fresh faces. So I highly
Yeah.
recommend people to go volunteer. If it's your kid's birthday, your anniversary, you go there, you just spend some time and come back. You will have good time. They will have good time. But that was one incident that really rattled me. And I somehow do not feel very good about me that I could have done something, which I
See,
didn't.
that's exactly what I was saying, right? The trap of mediocrity. Because the you if you would have done your job the best you knew, and you knew it,
And deep
right?
inside, I knew that.
Exactly. So when people tell me that nobody's watching, my first question, even if I don't say it on their face, is that, but you are.
And that's what we say, that we lie more to ourselves than to anyone else.
Exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
this journey is all about.
Exactly. So yeah, well, thank you for sharing that.
Yes, Rajiv, that was some good food for thought. And all I want to say at the end is that may your aspirations soar beyond mediocrity. Over to you.
Always. There's a poem that I have always kept at my desk. It's a poem by Jack London.
Okay.
So I'm going to read that poem. I would rather be ashes than dust. I would rather that my spark should burn out in a brilliant blaze than it should be stifled in dry rot. I would rather be a superb meteor with every atom of me in magnificent glow than a sleepy and permanent planet. The proper function of man is to live, not to exist. And this summarizes my opinion on what you should fear and what should make you angry. Mediocrity.
And may your path be illuminated by the brilliance. Thank you so much
Yes.
for listening. Do visit our website, thelielama.com, THELLALLAMA.com. Let us know if you want to be our guest. We'll be more than happy to host you. Stay tuned. Stay focused. Thank you.
Thank you.